What is up everybody, I am MegaShortFuze and I'm continuing my trend of bucking trends with today's crew video. Now this is one of the big ones. I was originally going to save this for when the game launched, but darn it, I am so excited about it I have to share it right now. Everybody and their mother has recommended this, right? Every single car YouTuber who deals with car video games has gone, "You should drive cross-country in the crew to get a taste of the American dream and freedom." Nay to that, I say. So here's my proposition for you today. You are going to do that cross-country road trip. A couple of things are going to be different, however. For one, you're not going to start in New York like everybody else, because that's just lame, and you don't want to be like everybody else. Be unique. What you are going to do is go up to Stephen King land and start there. This is your starting point at the most eastern point of the map, next to this bitchin' lighthouse I found, which I'm pretty sure Aaron Paul gave up a Koenigsegg at in that one movie nobody seems to talk about for some reason. Watch it! The second thing is that you're not allowed to set a GPS marker. Like at all. Don't do it. But don't let that discourage you, this is actually pretty simple. All you need to do is stick to the northernmost roads of the map. For added ease of use, just look at your minimap in the bottom right corner and make sure you're heading westward. If there are no more roads to the north, you're probably on the northernmost road. Your goal is to get from the easternmost point in the map to Seattle. How you get there is up to you. You are going to stick to the northernmost roads, however, you are clearly allowed detours. In fact, in the process of recording this video, which took me a little over an hour, I managed to squeeze out 2 additional road trips. Now, considering this is a very long journey, my car recommendation doesn't really matter. I used the Shelby because that's the second car I bought in the beta, but considering this is going to be useful when the actual game comes out, use whatever you want. I prefer something American because this is a cross-America road trip after all. The second thing is the song. Now, considering this is a pretty long road trip, I don't think a single song recommendation is going to do this whole trip any good, so I'm just going to recommend a whole soundtrack. Namely, the Far Cry 5 soundtrack. Kinda makes sense if you think of it. You're driving through the best of America, and Far Cry 5 is kind of the worst of America. I think I lost the analogy there somewhere. Point is that the soundtrack is incredibly atmospheric, and I've copped at least half of it from my own personal driving playlist. So give it a listen. If you're able, please do this with a friend. Doing it alone was incredibly relaxing for me. It was almost meditative, but I get a feeling that doing this drive with someone else is going to be a wholesomely different experience. That isn't to say that it's boring. On the contrary, when I say meditative, don't think like Buddhist monks. Think Frontline Zenyatta. I know, it's 2018 and I made an Overwatch reference. Please shoot me. Anyway, to illustrate how not boring it is, things will happen on this road trip. Things like, just like Stephen King's imagination, you will have a hard time leaving the state of Maine. You might unsuccessfully attempt to be a cool guy and fail at cinematically plopping in front of the Niagara Falls. You might be scared out of your wits by a giant cow. Because it's 2 a.m., you've been recording this for about 3 hours. You've had just as much sleep the previous night, and you're hopped up on bootleg iced tea. And on a more serious note, you will marvel at how good of a job the developers have done, making this game feel more alive than its predecessor. Also keep in mind that everything I have mentioned also applies to the Crew 1. If you can't wait to give this road trip a shot, you can still do it in the original. And that is about it. I have a couple of more road trip locations to showcase before the actual game comes out, so you're good and ready on day 1. Until then, smash that subscribe button. Do people still say that? I really enjoy numbers going up. Share this with like-minded car people. Car knowledge not necessary. And I'll see you later. Goodbye.